All right, I got another 410 ballistic gel test for you here today. I just recently found these. I have never seen these in my life. Another channel I talked to says he used to shoot them back in the day, but I've never actually seen them on the shelves, but they popped up online and I grabbed a few, so we're going to test them out today. Now, previously I tested the Winchester and Remington 410 slugs in the same video comparison head-to-head. I might eventually have to compare this head-to-head, side-by-side in an upcoming video as well. But I highly suggest you check out that video. Very interesting results. I'll link it in the description. So I'm curious to see what these Federal do. I've also recently tested the Ballistic slugs, which performed amazingly, especially compared to the Remington and Winchester. I'll link that one in the description for you as well. But for anything 410, you can just go check out the 410 playlist on the channel. But we're going to send these in the block today and see how these perform. Now, these are only a 2.5 inch. I do not believe they offer a 3-inch version, just like Remington. Of course, Winchester does. I might have to test those eventually. I got a few of those. Although I expect they'll probably perform about like the 2.5 inch versions did that I already tested. But this is a 1/4 ounce slug instead of a 1/5 ounce like most 2.5 inch shells are. And they're advertising 1,775 feet per second. I'm going to verify that over the chrono. And we're going to put them into my Knox 10% ballistics gelatin today. Trying to find my BB. I think we I think we hit the BB. Yeah, I just did some Mach 2 Hornady Mach 2 tests here. And you see that little skinny line there from where the BB was, and we were sitting at 3 1/8 inch, so perfectly calibrated, temperature controlled as always. But this side back here is completely unscathed, and if we get any more penetration than that, this will become the catch block. So I'll spin them around. We got a fresh block to put them in here, but let's send some over the chrono first and see what kind of velocity we get. I'm going to give them the best possible chance to perform here. I'm going to send them through this Stevens 301. I do have a review video on this. Again, check out the 410 playlist. But this is a 26-inch barrel. This is a turkey gun. But if I could ever get a focus on this, I currently have installed an improved cylinder choke for the slugs. So she's a 26-inch barrel. Should get maximum velocity out of that guy. So let's see how these do. Oh, don't tell me I was not recording. I hate it when that happens. My apologies. I thought I hit the record button. Apparently not. I don't have very many of these. So the first one was 1774. The second one was 1790. And then my third shot, 1770 there. So we are achieving and averaging a hair above advertised velocity. So that's good. All right, here we go. We'll put these Federals in and see how they do. This could be interesting. I just took a few practice shots on my target there to see where she was lining up for me. And the wad is hitting very close to where the slug is, so we might get a wad stuck in there. All right, well, definitely a good energy dump. Stood that blocker right up. Absolutely massive wound cavity. That looks like the wad. No. Wow. Oh, wait, it is the wad. And, so there you can see some lead. There's a chunk of lead. I don't know if there's any lead with that wad, but it looks like the wad went further than the slug there. I'm gonna have to go back and compare myself, because this is somewhat similar. I'm definitely seeing some differences here, and I don't want to spoil it, but somewhat similar to the Remington and Winchester slug test I mentioned, linked in the description. We'll take a look at that here in a second and get everything extracted, but yeah, that's it. Of course, I'll get a penetration depth for you, and we'll examine what we pull out. But let me take one more on the side here and see if the results duplicate. And this is, of course, close range. I may be doing a video. I would say we'll very likely be doing a video later testing these at longer ranges, especially considering the kind of shallow penetration depths we're getting here, and also they were shallow in the Remington and Winchester test as well, and not in the Brennicky. Again, those are linked in the description if you want to see what those did. But eventually I'll have to test these at some distance and see what the results are, say out at 50 yards or something like this. But let's go ahead and take that second shot here and see what happens. From here it looks to be about the same, yep. So again, massive wound cavity, split the top out there. There's our entries. And there's, okay, a little different. Looks like we got maybe a bigger piece of the slug there at the end, right next to the wad there at the same depth. But they both came to about right here. Let me get a measurement real quick. Now this first shot here, we're not quite to the edge, but I mean, you can see this is tapered close enough. It should actually probably be about right there, roughly. Anyways, about 7 inches there. If we got any kind of bounce back, it's hard to tell if it just split that from the energy dump and it stopped there, or if that went and then bounced back. Honestly, it doesn't really look like a bounce back, but the extent of the damage is 7 inches there. I'll check the other side here. This one we can see from up top, and about the same, you know, right there, 7 inches. So let me pull these pieces out and see what I find. All right, on the right here is everything from the first shot. Obviously there's more pieces in there, but these are the largest pieces. Everything else is smaller. So that's everything we got from the first shot that is of significant size. And then the second shot here definitely did better. I pulled this out with that little wafer there that was clear at the end. So again, the second shot definitely performed better in that regard, held together a little better. And then of course, again, there's little fragments here and there, but they're little tiny pieces. So that's the majority of what's left from the second shot. Based on these results, I think, you know, these things slow down pretty fast because they're lightweight, hollow, and they got a, you know, 40 caliber wide flat front face, so they lose velocity really quick. I'm thinking these, at least, I don't know how far out you'd have to be, maybe 25-30 yards, and they would hold together pretty well and penetrate further. Maybe you'd have to be 40 or 50, I'm not sure. So I'm definitely going to have to do some longer distance 410 slug tests in the future. But these don't look too bad. Again, you'd have to check out that Remington and Winchester video for comparison, but these look like they could be promising a little bit further out. Obviously that's, you know, really shallow penetration. You want deeper than that on a deer. But so let's see what we got here. Biggest chunks from that first shot, you got 16.6 grains on that one, 20.9 grains on that. The wad, which is complete on the first one, 22.9. You can see this separated from the second one. So that nice big chunk, it's pretty small and light. I mean, it's real thin, wafer thin from the second shot. 51 grains. And you guys already know what the wad weighs. So that's our results there. If you want to get yourself a little scale like that, micrometer, caliper, link in the description for those. So I guess this is the only one we can really get an expanded diameter on. And probably might have to do this off cam here. There we go, it's not too bad. 0.66, so 66 caliber there. But for any of the products you see me using in any of my videos, like ballistic gelatin there as well, chronograph, target stand, paper targets I use, steel targets, rangefinder, way more. Links in the description for all of that. And check out the campsite page for things I cannot link to on YouTube. That is in the description as well. That does it for this one, guys. Again, I have the others linked in the description, and for anything 410, just check out the 410 playlist on the channel. Thanks for stopping by and checking this one out today. I really appreciate it. Hope to catch you on the next one.